located right next to the beautiful Healthy Living Center at Brandon University. I'm Tyler Crayston alongside JC Castle for the men's broadcast. If you're just joining us, of course, the Providence Pilots women's team defeated the Bobcats a little bit earlier today, about a half an hour ago, by a score of 5-0. And when you take a look, JC, at this Bobcat men's team, the defending MCAC champions, of course, they won't get the opportunity to defend the championship, of course, with the season getting canceled at all. But when you look at this Bobcats team, still a team with a lot of veteran experience and a veteran coach in Glenn McNabb, who actually used to play Bobcat hockey here back in the day. Did you know that? Did you see that flashback?
It was a good flashback.
Well, so we're calling him the legend right now. And what do you think the legend Glenn McNabb is telling some of the guys right now as they get ready for another game that doesn't necessarily mean anything as far as standings and points or anything like that, but really try to build towards something in the future?
Well, and I think we would go back to what we discussed, I think, at the women's game, is even though it's an exhibition game, there's no real official season, the competitive juices will be coming. They'll want to be treating this exactly like a game. I know the veterans on this team, they treat a practice like a game. So I think we'll be in for a really exciting match.
Well, it's sure nice that sun's beating down on us right now, and I tell you, when that sun comes out, it feels absolutely beautiful. But it's few and far between when we see the sun. It's another chilly one out there. We managed you and I to gut our way through the women's game. Now it's these two men's teams that got to get out there and play in really tough conditions. That win right now, just from our vantage point, how tough do you think it is out there, especially maybe not so when you got it with you, but when you're going against?
It's extremely tough, and you want to start with the wind against you just to get it out of the way. But if Providence or BU, whoever's starting with the wind, use that to your advantage to capitalize and get ahead in the first half.
Well, I tell you, you're becoming a broadcasting veteran with us, because you did the futsal final for us last spring. You've got a soccer game under your belt. What do you think you've enjoyed calling more, futsal or soccer so far?
I find outdoor more exciting. But futsal was definitely fun to call just because it's so fast. It's easier to see everything that's going on, whereas I know in the girls' game we were struggling to see if they're on the far side, what's going on exactly. Both are really fun.
Well, we got a fun guy to watch, I think, in Diego Rodriguez for the Bobcats. We know everything that this guy has been through. He finally got back on the field, playing, I think, his first time in, 14 months or something like that. How inspiring is it to kind of see him out there and everything that he's been through?
It's really inspiring. I mean, we had same injuries, and I know we talked about it a lot because he always had that fear of that happening to him when my knee went, and I'm really glad that he was able to get back as soon as he was, and likely sooner than a lot of players would. I don't think many athletes would have pushed as hard as he did, and I'm glad he did. He deserves to be on that field right now.
Well, we also got Sam Wetstein also on the field. He's been battling the injury bug too. He basically was sidelined for mostly all of last year. Got back in time to really play a prominent role in that MCAC championship win. He ended up scoring the game winner. Basically, he kicked it from just past midfield out in Providence last year. I mean, this is a rematch of last year's championship final between these two teams. And what I like a lot about Sam is that here's a guy, he actually moved to small town Cartwright, right near where was born and raised in Glenora. There's a guy that never played high school soccer or anything like that, but again, it was kind of more of a water cooler talk type of scenario, and Sam's really done well and in doing the small town of Cartwright really proud here as he gets on the field for the Bobcats. And you got Travis Buick out there, you got Corbin Glufka out there, a veteran of the Bobcats. You got a really talented Bobcat team here that's playing a Providence team that I'm sure exactly that. We said, there's a lot of pride on the line. I'm sure Providence would love to come here and beat the Bobcats and try to exact a little bit of a measure of revenge after going toe-to-toe in the league final with them last year. And then these two teams are going to play again next Saturday and in Providence, in Otterburn, and then they're going to be right back at it again here next Sunday at HLC HLC Field. So this is going to be, I'm sure you're going to be able to tell that you got to control your emotions when you have to play a team that you're going to be seeing so often.
Exactly.
You know.
And these teams always have such a good history with each other in all the games that they've played, both futsal and outdoor. So every game they play, it's always action-packed.
We already had a good fast break there for Providence. They tried to bust in there right away on the Bobcats, but it's the netminder Chase Gluska that makes a stop there for the Bobcats. So BU will control it in their own zone here, and they go to that wily veteran that I talked about, Corbin Glufka. He dishes it over to Travis Buick. That was the playoff MVP last season. He scored a huge goal in the championship semifinal last year. What's that?
He had 2 goals.
Yeah, he scored in the semis, and then he scored, I think, the first goal of the championship game, did Travis Buick. So he said that in Otterburn, I said, what's the bus trip like going to be next weekend for you? He said, I'll have a smile on my face because that's my happy place, he said. So at midfield right now, and Jason Rowley, the 20-year official's got to be careful because these guys are battering rams out there so far. Flying through the air and trying to do a magnificent header there was Samuel Dueck, all for naught though. And we're right back the other way, go the Bobcats up on offense against the Providence Pilots. Here's Diego Rodriguez, Mr. Lightning Rod as we call him. Buick will throw it in. That goes off the head of Regini for Providence. Trying to control it and get some offense going here are the Bobcats. And Christian Rodriguez, number 10, is also out there on the field right now for BU. Wetstein's also out there for Brandon, as is number 18, Zach Wood, for the Bobcats. Rodriguez thought about winding up for it, but had that taken right away from him at the last second by the Pilots.
Christian Rodriguez, good pressure on Providence to force it out. Worked in a Providence favor, but managed to get a toe on it.
Yeah, Blake Dueck will throw it in here. Found Giovanni Benitez with that one. That's number 19 for the Providence Pilots. He was an MCAC All-Star last season for the Pilots. So Providence will throw things back in.
Blake Dueck to take the throw for Providence.
So Dueck's got in there. Almost got it back. He does. Kicks it nice and high. Off the head of a Bobcat player, controlled here by BU. That one stays in play. I thought that was going to be gone for sure. Corbin Glufka, the defensive veteran there for the Bobcats, tried to kick it upfield, could not. Ends up back with the Pilots now. Providence trying to break out. They cannot. Ends up back and up and over across midfield here at HLC Field, right beside the beautiful state-of-the-art Healthy Living Center here. It's exhibition soccer action, no MCAC soccer season due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So these two teams playing for pride. Earlier this afternoon in women's exhibition action, the Pilots blanked the Bobcats by a score 5-0. There's Buick, tried to hoof it in a big way but could not. It's controlled by Jordan Calvert of the Pilots. Only with Providence so momentarily as they get across midfield. It's Diego Rodriguez, number 17, doubling back and then kicks it downfield here for the Bobcats, trying to break through
Thomas
up on
Romero
offense.
Taken down just inside the Providence box or just outside, and it ends up resulting in a Providence free kick.
Yeah, Romero tried to bust through there. Yeah, Sam Wetstein out there as well. You can see him coming from a mile away because he's got those bright neon green cleats of his. Long kick to goers towards midfield. Stays there. Here goes Wetstein with Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a long kick. Hustling it to pick it up is the Pilots netminder. Jacob Albright, the netminder, goalkeeper for the Pilots. So power's still in the Pilots' hands. It's Dueck one more time. Number 6 for Providence throws it in. One off the chest of Jordan Calvert. using his head. Now Rodriguez backs it up and tries to kick it upfield. Cannot. It deflects off Jordan Calvert. Stays with Rodriguez here. And Rodriguez lost the handle on it, running out of real estate, and the Pilots will get it right back here. Throwing that one down the sideline, greeted by Rodriguez. Tried to walk the tightrope with it.
Really good control by both Christian and Diego Rodriguez to control that ball and keep it in play. Frank G trying to send Thomas Romero.
Yeah, it was Mine Dirtsma that had the header there a couple seconds ago. Now trying to break through and get something going up on offense are the Pilots. Controlled right now at midfield by the visitors from Otterburn. Breaking through, and there's going to be a race for it. Hustling back and in hot pursuit is Bender, number 16. That one goes up and out of play in a hurry here.
Gluska to take the goalie kick.
Yeah, last year it was Will Tawning that was the star netminder for the Bobcats and had a great impact here on our program. Maybe Will's watching right now on our Bobcat YouTube channel. A pretty special team last year that the Bobcats had with Kevin Lopez and the likes, and we're hoping to defend and host the conference championship, but wasn't meant to be this year. That went off the head of Zach Wood, number 18. At midfield right now, backing it up and kicking it, but didn't go very far. Deflects off a Providence Pilots player. Controlled again by 18, Zach Wood. Bobcats trying to break up and over. Goes out of bounds. This will be controlled here by the Bobcats. And Bender, 16, throws it into Zach Wood. Back in the feet of Bender. Now they're going to go across midfield one more time.
To Glufka.
And Corbin tracks it down over to MVP Travis Buick. There's a race for Christian Rodriguez racing down the sideline. And out of play it went. So the power's in Buick's hands. That long throw. Beating him to it with a header was Red Jimmy, number 2 for Providence. Wetstein doubles back. Across midfield it goes back into the Brandon zone, and they look to reset one more time. They're going to go all the way back to Gluska. Glufka pops that one up. It's a fly ball. It's accepted by the Pilots off ahead, but now quickly back with the Bobcats one more time. And that one went right smack dab off Red Jimmy's head. And that has got to hurt. That would hurt in the middle of summer, but just think about how much that smarts right now.
Yeah, definitely felt that.
Yeah, Bobcats playing with the wind at their backs here as they push down the field, and then Providence will have their crack at Mother Nature working with them when the second half gets underway.
Regimi to remain on the field.
Yeah, one tough cookie for taking that one off the head and still being okay to press on here. In chilly conditions here at HLC Field. The weather's turned on a dime on us here. It was actually not too bad last weekend, but this past week the wind has just been brutal playing out here for the Bobcats. Here's Rodriguez. He's lightning quick and can just get through that defense in no trouble at all. Doubling back as Glufka went off the top of his head. Racing for it is Tobias Patmore. It's kept by Providence. No team really has got anything really that close to the net. It was, I guess, the few opening seconds that we had, Providence raced down there trying to score. But other than that, there hasn't been. Both goaltenders haven't had to be razor sharp or anything like that to start the game.
And I think we'll see that throughout the game. Both teams have such a strong defensive core that they'll have to get creative to make it through.
Jay's out there as well. That's number 15 for the Bobcats. And Bender has it right now just across midfield as he looks to throw it in, and will put it back in the Bobcat zone, and the wily old veteran Glufka. That attempted pass to fellow BU teammate was intercepted by Providence. No harm, no foul, though. It stays with the Bobcats. There's a header. There's two of them, in fact. Red Jimmy taking another one off the top of the skull.
And Bender capitalizing on Providence pausing for a second.
Here come the Pilots one more time, trying to break through that defense of the Bobcats right at midfield. It's into the feet of Sam Wetstein. He takes it back and tried to go with a little bit of give and go there. Wetstein lost his footing there. Now he's still fighting in there, Sam Wetstein, as the Bobcats try to break through. And the ball goes out of play, and it's going to belong to the Providence Pilots here. 11 minutes into this contest here. Exhibition action from HLC Field. As mentioned, these two teams, well, they're already familiar foes after meeting in the championship final last year at Otterburn. They're playing today. They're going to play next Saturday in Otterburn, and then again next Sunday here back at the HLC. So Gluska raced out to grab that one. We saw two pretty active goalkeepers in the women's contest. Going to be interesting to see kind of how these two goalies approach, what their kind of game approach is to managing things here.
Yeah, Molly Major for the women's Providence team was instrumental in that 5-0 shootout, and she kept them in the game. And Emily Scramstead equally was throwing her body left and right to try and prevent Providence from scoring.
Yeah, it was Rodriguez looking long distance for a J there, but the two couldn't connect. That one, yeah, remember, right into that win. There's a header by Jordan Calvert, number 15, and Providence going to bust in here. It was Calvert. Now it's going to be a throw in here by Blake Duick of the Pilots. Found the teammate and Sam Duick. Got tangled up with Travis Buick there. And slowly but surely, Pilots are punching their way into the Bobcats zone here. Trying to set something up here on offense. Are the Pilots are trying to bust through. Looks like they might get a chance at it. That one's kicked out of harm's way, though. But Pilots still pouring on the pressure here, and it's Blake Duick one more time, trying to find that open teammate in the white jersey, and he will. Walking the tightrope and trying to keep it in play was Benitez. That one's off the foot of Sam Wetstein. Can't get it completely past midfield. And Providence will keep pouring it on here. Right in the corner, and it is going to be a Providence ball. So their first crack at a corner kick here for the Pilots. We saw the Pilot women's team score a pair of goals off corner kicks. Let's see if Providence men's team can find some gold at the end of the rainbow here.
And there's a scramble in the net.
And there's Corbin Glufka trying to kick it away. Didn't catch all of it, though. Still a scramble for it. That one's out of play. Yeah, you don't always need a magnificent header or a big wheel kick or anything like that. Sometimes it's grinding it out in there and
getting what
doing
we call
some
garbage
old-fashioned,
goals.
yeah. That's more the soccer that I used to play back in the day at Boulder High School. It was more just kind of a grind. We weren't MCAC worthy at all. That one's kicked out of harm's way, and yeah, there we go. We finally got one that's almost got...
made it to Earl Oxford.
Yeah, it almost got ran over by a 2004 van there, I think. And those balls are expensive, and I don't think that it popped like a balloon if someone ran over the top of it. Corner kick. Racing forward are the Bobcats, and look how JC it's coming our way here. Right up into the cage as well. It's right underneath our broadcast table, and Blake Duick calmly, coolly collects and throws it back into play here. Attempted header there by Benitez. 2019 MCAC All-Star. Missed that attempt.
This will be a free kick for Bobcats.
Buick with the win. Yeah, way down there off the head of a J. He doubles back and picks it up. Little give and go here. There's Wetstein that had it, but just for the moment only. It was Zach Wood that picked it up, number 18 for the Bobcats. Rodriguez trying to find the edge on the Providence player. Cannot. Dueck kicks it back. Jay has it, getting fancy with some footwork there. There's Zach Wood also in the mix here.
Pushing
and
through
Wood
that.
trying to create a little bit of open real estate. And here's Rodriguez with it. He stops it dead in its tracks. Then he dishes it off. Romero over to MVP. That's Buick. Long high kick trying to find the J, and it goes out of play. Yeah, you know, we've kind of been harping on it quite a bit, but when you're out here and you're feeling that wind, you know, you really want to take advantage and try to get a couple of goals if you can, at least one, while you're playing into it, because you know that temperature is going to drop in that second half, and you're going to be playing against it. So it's pretty vital to try to make something count if you can when you got the wind at your back. So that kick deflected off a Bobcat. Wetstein had it. He had a really nice goal, actually, and a great celebration with his first game back in a while there earlier this week, did Sam Wetstein. Yeah, that's what I had asked him. I said, did you ever kind of consider not playing at all, kind of knowing that you're not feeling it 100%? And he said, you know what, no way.
No.
He goes, I'm a competitor, and I'm coming back to play no matter what.
Yeah, so athletes don't like to say no or be told no, that we can't play, so we'll just try and push through it, recover when it's off season.
Well, Sam Wetstein comes from that great community of Cartwright. That's a really sports-minded community, a lot of great baseball players and hockey players from that community, so he's got kind of that legacy behind him as he becomes a Bobcat in his second year. Racing for it, a header, and almost.
That was Diego Rodriguez taking the kick, and Thomas Romero, on the receiving end and just over the net.
Yeah, his eyes lit up like a Christmas tree there in Rodriguez. I tell you, for a guy that, you know, was finally getting back into the swing of things here after 14 months, when he had played there, I guess it's 2-3 weeks ago right now, had a beautiful corner kick, and you know, just a really great celebration.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you, he looked like he had missed 14 days, not 14 months, the way that he played in that game a few weeks ago against ACC.
Well, there's nothing like when you come back from an injury like that and scoring your first goal. It's just something else.
Well, you know all about that stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 offsides for Providence in a row, and that would be Ferris Assey. That's been called offside both times for Providence. So BU getting a couple free kicks. And it's going to be Corbin Bufuga taking the free kick for Bobcats.
Well, we're slowly but surely working on some of our senior videos, and Corbin has sent me some from when he was first starting to play soccer, and he hasn't aged a bit. Yeah, the smile's the same, and maybe he's got a little bit more of a beard growing, but other than that, his
hair's probably grown longer over the years.
No, it's the same.
Oh.
It's the same. Jay trying to make something happen there off a turnover as the Pilots doubled back into their own zone here. Played 19 minutes here. Pretty good pace to this first half here.
Mm-hmm. And not really seeing a big advantage for either team. They're pretty equal on the playing field. Both have gotten good chances.
There's Wood, Jay trying to go with the header. Wetstein thought about tracking that one down, but thought otherwise. Wetstein's got it back in his feet. Now breaking through, Zach Wood with a good burst of speed, trying to make a nice pass. Intercepting that one, though, was Blake Dueck. Back at midfield again one more time. Kind of a dangerous situation here for the Bobcats. There's a race for it. And Glufka collides with Tobias Patmore.
Kick by Nathan Chubati, number 19 for the Bobcats, going out, resulting in a Providence throw-in.
And there it is. Off Wood. And Official Jason Rowley points the other way. That attempt to get out of the zone is intercepted by the Pilots. So they try to get the first really good scoring chance. Both teams have kind of been lurking in the weeds a little bit offensively, but neither one has had a real premium shot on net yet.
No, nothing from either team really. Just some close chances.
There's Buick stopping that one. Buick ends up back with the Pilots. Buick kicks that one out of play. Well, Blake Duick, number 6 here for Providence, will try to find an open teammate. Back at the feet of Jordan Calvert, number 15, intercepting is Rodriguez, trying to thread the needle and hustling. A race for it there was Romero one more time. And that one hits the
windshield.
Hits the windshield of a vehicle, and Travis Buick will kindly accept this ball getting passed back in from a Bobcats supporter staying outside the cage. No fans able to be inside of it. And we got a whistle, and it's going to go back the other way. So, Mine Dirtsmouth, a long kick off the head of Buick. Rodriguez had it just for the moment.
Caught the wrist of Rodriguez, resulting in a handball. And it'll be Blake Duick taking the kick for Prov.
So Duick's kick deflects off of Rodriguez. We got another stop. So slowly but surely, like a big drive in football here, just a couple yards at a time here for the Pilots, but they're working their way in there slowly but surely. It was a high kick by Red Jimmy. So it stays with Providence, and we're going to have a couple of substitutions in here, get some fresh bodies in here for the Pilots.
We've got Sean Kirkpatrick checking in for the Providence Pilots, as well as Christian Dick.
So here is an opportunity here for the Pilots. There's a long heat-seeking missile. Gluska dives at it, making a nice stop with Chase. Another corner kick coming up for Providence. Trying to work their magic, going long distance with the corner kick. That one eludes everybody, racing and hustling it down, but it's going to go out of play anyway, and it will belong to the Bobcats, so no worries there on the part of the Bobcats. Back with MVP. Buick throws it up, trying to find the teammate in Will with Wetstein. Doubles back to Buick one more time. Buick holds, kicks it up, finds a pilot instead. Zach Wood controls, dishes it off. Here's a long kick, trying for a long distance breakaway here to a J. He hustles and tracks it down, slips,
recovers,
regains his focus. Here's Wetstein now. Now it's Zach Wood. Will Wood dish it off to Rodriguez? He will. Rodriguez, we call him the lightning rod on campus. He fires, and that one is easily picked up by Albright. Albright, what a nice massive kick there into that wind. Controlled at midfield by Zach Wood. He lost the handle on it. Forcing the issue there was number 8, Christian Dick of Providence. Just over 24 minutes played here in this opening half, and still no score. But both teams are kind of, I got a feeling here that one of these two are going to break through before the end of this first half here. So that kick goes off the head of Nathan Chabati, number 19, I think. Both teams need to work their way down this way a
so
little
that we can see the numbers.
Just a bit clearer for us. So the goalkeeper Albright has it. Throws it. It's stopped by Mend Dirtsma. Wetstein thought he was going to have a turnover there at midfield, controlled by the Bobcats. Here's Zach Wood, and Wood collides, and we got a player down on the Providence side. Just for the moment, though, right back up and at it again is Christian Dick, number 8. So the Pilot's going to get in position here.
Just a matter of catching someone's ankle. Lufka.
Corbin was there, and now we got a race for it, but again, that's where that wind is.
Yeah.
You wish it was holding it up for you in a circumstance like that.
But other than the odd ball going too wide for resulting in a throw-in, like, you're not seeing either team having a huge advantage with the wind in terms of their passing and their kicks throughout the field. We saw it a lot in the girls' game, but the men are adjusting to it well.
So that one goes down and out of play. Albright will get his 10,000 steps in, no problem today. If he keeps this up. That sun's starting to break through this cloud cover here and make it a little bit more comfortable for not only the players but the broadcast team and the camera crew on top of the WCG TV truck, and the Pilots trying to give us something to root about at home if you're a Providence Pilot supporter. They got tangled up though, still controlled though by the visitors from Otterburn. They're in the corner, trying to work their way a little bit closer to that net. Jay got a foot on it. Wetstein off the chest, off the foot. A header by the Bobcats. And we got a whistle on the play. So the Pilots will get the puzzle pieces in place here and trying to make something count. Cannot. We got another whistle, and here's another chance for the Pilots here. Sam Wetstein pleading his case, but not sure who's down there for Providence. He's getting
I believe it's Tobias Patmore was taken down for Providence.
Oh, so it's Christian Dick that was down there for Providence. So this is pretty much, this is probably the best scoring chance either team's had here in this first half here. Is Providence got their formation ready, and the kick is on the way. It's a deflection. Scramble for it in front of the net, and they're going to score off it. So the Pilots break the double goose egg, and they lead 1-0.
That was scored by number 8, Christian Dick for Providence. Receiving the ball on a scramble and just taking that break. Pause to see where the space was. And
yeah, you know what? If we saw on that replay there, it just went through the legs of Travis Buick there. And that's, to me, that's a lot of good patience on the part of Christian Dick. You know, you're chomping at the bit there. You know, you want to score and everything like that. It'd be pretty easy to kind of.
But he saw that BU was scrambling and took that time just to take a look and see where they would end up.
So Christian Dick, the goal scorer here for Providence. Just about at that 30-minute mark here. Earlier today, Pilots picked up a 5-0 win over the Bobcats, and the Providence men's team looking to make it a clean sweep.
Diego Rodriguez to take the corner kick for Bobcats.
There's the kick, and there it is, a deflection. Wetstein looking for that one. Albright back to pick it up. Get some instruction here from his coach. And he lets it fly. Rodriguez tried to go with the header, flew over the top of his head. Corbin Glufka doubles back. Dekes it around the Pilots players. Providence controls it one more time at midfield. That's Christian Dick, that's number 8, the goal scorer. Had it at midfield and now all the way back into the Providence zone, and Albright calls everybody off and he'll take care of business from here. Off the head of Rodriguez, and out of play it goes. So it's Athwell. He just had it just for a second there. Nice guy, and hands it over to Duick, who throws it in there for Providence. Big high kick there by Mind Dirtsma. Buick comes back along with number 19 Shabatti. Out of play it goes, and Pilots are pressing again here for a second goal. Romero had a chance at it. Rodriguez gives it a mighty hoof. Right back into the waiting arms of Albright for the Providence Pilots. Now it sails over the top of Corbin Glufka. There's a race for it. Glufka's there, not gonna. I thought he maybe would pick it up. There's a loose ball, and right place, right time are the Bobcats to keep that one out of the back of the net and just keep it just a 1-0 game.
Romero to meet the ball. Romero getting tangled up, resulting in a Providence kick.
There's a good kick, trying to get a deflection and put something past Chase Gluska. Buick gets it out of harm's way, right back into the Bobcats zone. Can they control it? Nope, they can't, and it'll belong to the Bobcats here. Just over 32 minutes played here. MVP Buick throws it in. Calvert greeted that one off the top of his head. Out of play it goes, and it belongs to Providence one more time. And Blake Duick will throw it in. Misses everybody except for Glufka. Hustles to track it down, flips it up and out of play, and Providence will set up here for a corner kick. Benitez, corner kick, looking for a header. That one up way high, stays in play though. Benitez trying to beat Christian Rodriguez to it. And they're going to do it all over again. This time it's just a simple tap pass. There's a kick, looking for the header. That one's off the mark and out of play. So Chase Gluska is he gonna let this one rip here, knowing he's got the wind at his back? Let's see. No, just a simple tap. Bobcats double back one more time. It's with the veteran Corbin Glufka. Trying to thread the needle as the Bobcats look to break their way upfield.
Thomas Romero keeping the ball in.
Yeah, he walked the tightrope there. Good balance there to keep that ball in play. And some fancy footwork there as well there by Athwell, number 13 for Providence. Glufka slipped a little bit, maintained control of it. Now over to Diego Rodriguez. And dish it off to Christian Rodriguez. Now back one more time to Glufka. Glufka trying to make his move. Cannot. Rodriguez, right place, right time to control it here for the Bobcats. Works his way into the far corner, pressured by two Pilots. Corbin Glufka trying to race away from the danger, and there's a stoppage in play. 35 minutes now into this one. 1-0 for Providence. Off the goal by Christian Dick. Trying to track that one down. It'll be the Bobcats that are first to it. They got a whistle and we're pointing the other way.
Easy pass by Glufa to Rodriguez.
Rodriguez going across the field here. There's a long kick, and racing to track that one down is Albright. They'll do that all day.
That's what we saw a lot of in the girls' game. Molly Major didn't really have to work for a lot of the goals that came her way. They were just rolled to her, long passes.
Yeah,
exactly what's happening here.
Yeah.
So BU just needs to get back to passing the ball on the ground to their feet, getting past Prov defense.
Here's Wetstein with some speed. That kick looking to go to the far corner, off the mark. And it must have deflected off a Providence player, I guess.
So we have Diego Rodriguez to take the corner kick for the Bobcats.
Well, this was the side of the field. This was the same corner kick that he had when he made his return there a couple weeks ago against ACC. It was a real thing of beauty. He just put it right on the money. Can lightning strike twice for lightning rod here, that we like to call him on campus? That one eludes everybody, but the Bobcats back it up with Thomas Romero trying to make his move. Stays with BU. 37 minutes into this one. Sam Wetstein pushes it back. That pass deflects off a Bobcat. Rodriguez will control it here for BU. Rodriguez lets it fly, and it sails too high and out of play. Yeah, I think you got to give Providence the offensive structure a lot of credit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they've been really good at preventing Bobcats from getting past them and getting close to Albright.
So let's see what Albright's going to do with it here. Gives it one big mighty kick right at midfield here. Rodriguez for the Bobcats. Back into the Brandon zone. It's Glufka trying to find the edge, make a pass. It is intercepted. Buick kicks it all the way downfield, but out of play. And Meindertsma gets his walking boots on and goes and picks that one up for Blake Duick. That one finds Buick instead. High kick goes over the top of Corbin Glufka. Then he sends it back over to Jace Glufka to control it for BU.
A little bit of miscommunication. Gluska forced to put off a Prov body.
Yeah, Benitez was lurking in the weeds there and almost stole that one away from Brandon. Wetstein's bicycle-like kick only got to midfield. Racing for it, getting tangled up. It's a Bobcat ball. Corbin Glufka will hold it. He lets it fly. Gonna get through there is Christian Rodriguez trying to take that pass from Ajay, but not quite. So possession belongs to the Bobcats here. There's time winding down here in this opening half.
5 minutes left. Prov up 1-0.
There's a high kick. Who's going to want it more? It's going to be the Bobcats. Travis Buick taps it. Rodriguez there. Wetstein also in the vicinity, but not quite. Back on the Brandon side of the field. Now at midfield one more time. Controlling it was Athwell, number 13. Pilots looking to bust in here one more time.
Buick to carry the ball. Lost it to...
Yeah, Dick was there. Still deking around the Bobcats. Curveball like kick there, and Pilots are going to get a chance at it. Can they get a clean shot on that? That one sails over the top of the net. And that one's into the parking lot here at the HLC. They're all wondering what. Albright's got one ball down at his end, or do they wait and see how long this one will take? Oh, they got another one in play here. So Chase Gluska's got it in his hands right now. His team down 1-0 here. Exhibition play between these two teams. A rematch from last year's conference championship game where Bobcats won their first ever outdoor title in Otterburn. Oh, that one eludes Buick.
Didn't expect that bounce and went right through.
Yeah, he wants that one back, and Providence will look to take advantage of that miscue there with that one going over Buick's foot and out of play.
Albright calling his players off. Handles that with ease.
Yeah, it's been a pretty easy day at the office for him so far. He hasn't really been tested here.
No.
Diego Rodriguez and the Bobcats looking to change that with time winding down. Fancy footwork by Rodriguez. Trying to bust through, cannot. That one is stopped. Does not go out of play by Athwell. Yes, I guess he did in the end.
Yeah.
So Buick holds. Goes back to Corbin Glufka. And going to go all the way back here now into the Brandon zone. Zach Wood, number 18. His kick is deflected. And it's with Corbin Glufka one more time. Glufka's low kick. Doubling back are the Pilots. Mine Dirtsma lets it fly. That's a long kick. Glufka had to be careful of that one because it looked like Benitez could have broke through there had a bounce gone the Providence Pilots' way. Trying to thread the needle. No, Buick's there. Getting it out of Bobcat territory and down the other way. Ajay tangled up with a Providence player. Here's Diego Rodriguez trying to make his move. Bobcats ball.
Just under 2 minutes to go in the first half here.
Yeah, that one went off of Josh Cameron, number 14 for Providence. Sam Wetstein went through his legs, out of play. Still with the Bobcats. Bender will throw it in here for BU. Header by the Pilots. They control it. Doubling back there was Benitez, number 19 for the visitors. Ajay trying to make his move, cannot. Off a Pilot's head. Bobcats trying to break free with the pass. They're going to try it one more time, work their way and try to find that edge, but cannot. Little flip pass.
Romero forcing Athwell to make that pass.
So there's Blake Duick one more time, throws it in for Athwell, 13. That one's sky high. Skimmed the top of the head of Red Jimmy. And the Bobcats with a long pass. There's a race for it. Christian Rodriguez trying to get there, but beating him to it was Mine Dirtsma. They get tangled up.
Corner kick for Bobcats.
So it's Rodriguez again. This is his wheelhouse right here, these corner kicks. With time winding down here in this first half and his team trailing by 1. And Albright saw that one all the way, and then he heaves it down the field with all of his might. Caught by the Bobcats. Wetstein. Intercepted there by Sean Kirkpatrick. Pilots hold. Work their way back in a little bit now, trying to get their way into Brandon territory here. They're fighting for it at midfield, and they're going to break through here. And we got a whistle. Yeah, in hot pursuit there was Athwell, number 13.
Just called offside.
There's Zach Wood, 18. Dishes it off. We got another whistle. And that'll do it for the first half. So, we're through the opening period here at HLC Field. Exhibition action between the host Bobcats and visiting Providence Pilots, and we have a score of 1-0 in favor of the Pilots. So at the half, we got 3 different videos to show you. One of them is a video tribute to our late athletic director, Mr. George Berger. He came to BU in 1978 and stayed here till 87, passed away October 10th at the age of 91.
Brandon University Athletics is celebrating the life of Sports Wall of Famer George Berger, who passed away October 10th at the age of 91. Berger was hired as BU Athletic Director in 1978 and brought a wealth of experience. He served as AD at Lakehead University and also coached the men's basketball team. In 1969, Lakehead went 21 games undefeated. The team featured legendary Brandon coach Jerry Hemmings and former Bobcat Joe Parks.
George was like a father to me. I mean, he recruited me. We had a relationship for 51 years. I played for George. I worked under him as men's basketball coach when he was the athletic director. I mean, he had a great mentality for, developing teams, developing coaches. So, definitely he leaves a great legacy behind.
The Bobcats achieved greatness under Berger's guidance. In men's hockey, Brandon was ranked number 1 in Canada for the first time in 80-81 and captured the Great Plains Athletic Conference title. Andy Murray was bench boss at the time, before going on to a coaching career in the National Hockey League.
I believe trust in me is what gave me the opportunity to reach some of the other goals that I had in life and in hockey as well there too. I mean, he was a guy that inspired me every single day. I think one of the big things with George, he just worked so hard, was so determined, was so competitive, was a bulldog.
The 80-81 season also saw the women's basketball program reach the top 10 rankings in the country and finish 1 win shy of a league championship. BU's roster included All-Canadian Janet Lumsden. Berger was her lifelong mentor.
George came into my life when I was 16. Right from the minute I met him at the Canada Games, his kind eyes and his ability to be so genuine with you, he really made you feel like he cared about you as a person and then as an athlete. He said he would call, and I was in grade 11, and he called, and he called, and he called, and he developed a really sound relationship with my family. And at that time, my father had just left, and my parents got a divorce, and so when I arrived at BU, he stepped in and told me that he wanted to be that male role model for me. Ever since then, he's been a constant in my life.
In his final season as AD in 1987, the BU men's basketball team made history, being crowned national champions.
To see us winning that national championship was a real sense of pride for all the work and effort that he put into establishing the athletic programs at Brandon University.
Berger was born and raised in Winter, South Dakota, and was an all-state football player in college. He and his family spent the last 30-plus years living in Tucson. For nearly 2 decades, he was facility and equipment director at the University of Arizona. Berger's background in sports has been well recognized, being inducted into over 40 different Hall of Fames.
Yeah, we're certainly going to miss George, and just what really great comments from Coach Hemmings, Andy Murray, and Janet Lumsden. You can just tell how special of a guy George was to all of us here at Brandon University. So we still have some time here before the start of the second half between the Bobcats and the Pilots, so let's enjoy 2 more alumni spotlights.
All Gary Smith needed was 2 feet and a heartbeat.
My brother and I were raised by a single mom. Mom was of the belief that if you kept kids busy, they wouldn't get into trouble. And so Mom put us into almost every sport that there was.
Born and raised in Brandon, the pitch suited him best. He felt like a kid again in his early 20s when English soccer legend Sir Stanley Matthews played alongside him.
He purchased a team over here in North America, and he was doing a cross-Canada tour to promote his team. He ended up coming to Brandon and played a soccer game with our soccer team. And he played center forward and I played inside right. It was amazing.
Smith was never one to stay flat-footed. After 1 season at the University of North Dakota, he returned home to play with the Bobcats. He also came back to tie the knot, and coach Doug Steeves heard wedding bells on the football field.
I went to the coach's office and I said, "Coach, I can't play next weekend." And he said, "Why not?" And I said, "Well, I'm getting married that day." And he thought for a moment and he said, "How about this? How about if we line up all the players on the Bobcat team on both sides of center, and you and your bride walked out to center field and you get married out there?" Well, I didn't even bother running it past my fiance because I knew that was going to be unacceptable, so I had to miss that game.
On the gridiron, Smith was a go-getter. He offered versatility and consistency as a field goal kicker.
He was a natural athlete. He had, with that, he brought good speed, good hands, and a very good foot. With his speed, he could run down guys on defense. He could catch a pass, and with his good hands, leave people behind.
Smith played 3 years at BU and won the Jim Casey Award for Sportsmanship in 72-73 before becoming an educator and a phys ed supervisor in the Turtle River School Division. Provincial funding was put towards upgrading gyms, and Smith helped bring them to life.
They built 6 new schools with good-sized gymnasiums, but it was my job to design the gymnasiums, to put the lines on the floor like you see here. Once we got the gymnasiums, I had to hire qualified physical education teachers to fulfill the jobs up.
His athletic background probably was quite instrumental in formulating the thoughts and concepts in his mind, and he carried through with those.
Smith became principal at McCreary and stayed involved in sports by coaching and officiating. His Bobcat football life kick-started it all.
One of the biggest things is the class sizes, the camaraderie that we had here. I wanted to be around young people and coach them and referee and teach phys ed. That's basically what I wanted to do. It's home to me, Brandon University, yeah.
Growing up in the sports hotbed of Hamiota, it became apparent at a young age that athletics would have a lifelong impact on Tara Pitt's Knee Dale.
We were very athletic growing up. We had lots lots of role models within the community, and with that came great coaches. So from baseball coaches to basketball coaches, volleyball, we just had a lot of wealth of knowledge in the community.
Pitts was an all-star in basketball, soccer, and volleyball, but her hoops career stands out. She led her hometown Huskies to provincial championships in 93 and 94, cementing the team's place in history. Hamiota's high school dynasty was inducted into the Manitoba Basketball Hall of Fame in 2007.
When you're just a kid, you're just playing and having fun and loving the sport, but now I'm flipping through old yearbooks or through old memories, and yesterday I was through the photo albums, and you remember all the good times, and you understand now what that meant and what kind of an accomplishment it was, so yeah, it really sinks in.
Dawn Thompson recruited her to join the Bobcats, where she played 5 seasons. She captured the HS Purdue Award for Sportsmanship in 98-99. In her senior year, in 99-2000, she was honored as a Great Plains Athletic Conference second team.
You can see all those alumni spotlights. There's about 30 of them that are on our Bobcat website. We didn't realize we were going to bleed into the start of the second half. You can check out all those Bobcat alumni spotlights on our website, gobobcats.ca. It's underneath the alumni section, alumni spotlights, and there's all kinds of videos you can check out and take a trip down memory lane with. So we're back at it here. Started the second half between Pilots and the Bobcats. Providence with that lone goal, and Gluska's got to be careful here. Raced out, got a foot on that one to control it here for BU. But right off the outset, Providence is just right into that Brandon zone one more time. That one goes out of play, and it's going to be a Bobcat ball. See number 22, Francis Dakapotz on the field there. Number 22 for Providence. His first time out on the field here this afternoon. Trying to find some open room there was Athwell. Got it in front. There's a stop. There's a partial deflection. Another chance at it. Corbin Glufka getting in there. Sacrificing the body there was Corbin Glufka. You can see he's down on his hands and knees there. Well, we got a whistle on the play, and looks like Providence is going to get a free kick here. Deja vu from the women's game.
Yeah.
Neil Athwell. So Gluska's got to commit to one side of that net and just hope for the best here. Here comes the kick, and that one's right in the back. Bang, they score. And right off the bat, it is 2-0 for Providence off the free kick.
And Gluska's choosing the right side, but just it was a rocket from Athwell, and
oh yeah, that was a heat-seeking missile. That one, yeah. I don't think Dominic Hasek could have stopped that one. And Providence looking to pour it on here. They've already struck nice and early here to start this second half to give them a 2-0 lead, 2-0 lead. There was Nathan Chabadi that had a head on it. Bobcats have got to clear the mechanism here and try to get right back into this game here. Try and strike back as quick as they can. Their header there grazed the body of Buick. Puts that one up nice and high, trying to track it down. Out of play it went instead. Thrown into the Brandon zone by number 5, Tobias Patmore. There's Dakapot. That one just eluding Patmore. And Bender and the Bobcats trying to go to work here. There's Diego Rodriguez. There's Sam Wetstein.
Zach Wood.
Benitez. And Dakapot walking the tightrope. There's Athwell throwing it in. And back to Athwell, but ran out of real estate.
Bender to take the throw in for the Bobcats. Back to Chabadi.
Yeah, Chabadi will back it up here. Sends it out of play, so another chance here for the Pilots. Racing over to pick it up is Pat Moore. Pat Moore tries to pick his spot perfectly. Found an open teammate right in the corner. Works his way out from outside the corner. Getting tangled up there with Thomas Romero. Thrown back in again. Controlled here by Providence. No look pass that ends up out of play. So Bender to Chabati. And Chabati's kick to Buick off the top of his head. And you got, for the first time, Christian Aluminum is on the field here for the Bobcats. Here's Dakapot one more time. Trying to spring free is Athwell. Gluska racing out way outside.
Really
He's got to hustle back in there.
And a missed throw by Dakapot.
Yeah, Glusko is way out in no man's land there. Caught a break there.
Yeah, he's lucky he got a toe on that to force Athwell out.
A good pass. Buick thought he was going to be home free there, but that one went out of play. Off Buick's head and out of play. Yeah, you see everybody bundled up on the other side of the field here.
And even if they're not playing, the subs are constantly warming up. Just
well, you got to be. You never know, right? So,
yeah.
So Glufka trying to force the issue. Stays with Providence. He scored right off the bat here to start the second half to make it 2-0 for the visitors here. Well, some fancy footwork there by Athwell. Stays in that Brandon zone here. It's Athwell one more time. He's a one-man wrecking crew trying to get through the Bobcat defenders. We got a whistle on the play. So it's Athwell taking this kick here. He was the goal scorer moments ago here for the Providence Pilots, and Bobcats are going to try and build up that wall here. And official Jason Rowley will walk it off. So Bobcats go back a step or two. Wood, Wetstein, and Rodriguez building that wall here for the Bobcats with Athwell's kick on the way, and it's off the mark.
And it'll be Ujimi taking the Providence free kick.
Patmore was out in no man's land there, picking up that ball. And to work on offense go these Providence Pilots, looking to build up on that lead. Gluska there, juggled it a bit, but squeezes it. No problem there, and a nice good kick by Gluska downfield. Travis Buick right now for the Bobcats, trying to break free, cannot. Providence trying to make their move. Buick kicks it to midfield, but that's as far as it's going to get. It was into the waiting feet of Josh Cameron. And if my memory serves me correctly from reading the roster, Mr. Cameron, a Minnedosa product, I do believe.
I believe you're right.
So Jacob Albright. Long, low kick there, getting it. That wind at his back there. That throw to Blackwell didn't quite work out. Still, though, Pylons have it. Gluska's right there. Wide open net, but there is Corbin Glufka. The last line of defense for BU, kicking that one out of harm's way.
Dakapot was looking to send it back in for his Pilots, and luckily Wetstein was there. Huge save by Corbin Glufka to help Chase out.
There was Kirkpatrick. He lost it. Racing upfield go the Bobcats.
Aluminum taken down and resulting in a Bobcat free kick, which will be taken by Diego Rodriguez.
Diego trying to find Aluminum. No dice on that one. Albright picks it up. And that kick goes off the top of the head of Dakapot. Bounces there. We got another whistle.
Call on Zach Wood for going for the body instead of the ball.
Intercepted by the Bobcats, now intercepted by the Pilots. Athwell receiving that pass from Dakapot. Trying to make his move. Nice save. Doing the splits there was Chase Gluska. Giovanni Benitez with the corner kick here for the visitors. Up 2-0. Trying to make it 3. Off the top of the crossbar. Buick got a piece of it trying to kick it out of there. A header by the Pilots. Kicked away by Rodriguez. Brandon trying to make their move. They cannot. Pilots have got the Bobcats hemmed in here.
Gluska will be thankful for that crossbar for saving that goal.
That one's thrown in. Bender kicked it away from the crease area. Buick tried to push the pace, cannot. That wind right in the Bobcats' faces here as they work their way downfield.
Romero has the ball, passing off to Christian Rodriguez. Back to Romero.
Buick over to Zach Wood. Wood doubles back and sends it over to Chabati. Chabati to Rodriguez. Rodriguez hits the floor or hits the field, I guess. Yeah, Rodriguez making his triumphant return. There's a nice camera shot of him 14 months away. Made his return there, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So Rodriguez will let it fly here. Twisting, turning, and Albright sacrificing the body there on that one. He was way out of his crease too. And Albright makes another good stop.
Romero with 2 good chances there. But Albright's been flipping and on his head.
Massive kick. That's all the way downfield. Gluska racing out there. He's diving on it too like a hot potato. Gluska keeps it low, getting it through that wind, that brick wall basically that you got to get through.
That is Prov's defense.
So Buick picks his options. Tried to find Wetstein with it. Off the head of Glufka. Dakapot was there. In a battle with it. Dakapot worked his way around Bender. Pass up by Chabati. Over to Romero. Here come the Bobcats now. Little bit of momentum with them on their side. Quickly squashed. Now Corbin Glufka one more time. Up and over midfield. Over to Travis Buick. That's a header by Providence. And we're right back where we started from with the Pilots in hot pursuit back the other way.
Good defense by Glufka to get back and help his team out.
Little flip pass. That went off the top of the head of Nathan Chabati. And we got another whistle on the play.
little bit of words being exchanged between the teams.
Yeah, well, they better get used to seeing each other because, as I mentioned already, next Saturday Brandon's out in Otterburn, and then it's two teams face each other again next Sunday here. Dakapot's got that one. Tangled up though. Wetstein trying to bust free. He cannot bust free. Back come the Pilots one more time. Went off the foot of Bender. It's controlled by Providence with Athwell. Athwell trying to use some fancy footwork. Got it over to Dakapot. And that one goes out of play. So Chase has got it right now. That kick is a header by the Pilots off Benitez. Here's Bender. Thought about it. Tried to spring Wetstein, who had some speed going. Off Chabati. Just got a piece of it though. Bender coming back. Tangled up with Athwell.
Athwell getting the body of Bender there.
And Chabati's kick goes out of play.
We can feel that wind coming back into effect too. We can see like BU's balls are just going wide. They're not making it to the player.
Well, yeah, it seems that it's picked up here again in the last few minutes. It seemed that it had gone down there pretty good, but
we can definitely feel it.
Oh, yeah, you bet we can. We need to...
Wetstein throwing aluminum. And Romero getting the ball, breaking free.
Here's Romero trying to put it in the middle here. Wetstein was in hot pursuit of it. Here's Buick. He's right there at the right place at the right time to keep it in play here for the Bobcats. They're working their way from outside the corner into Buick, the MVP with a long, high kick. Racing for it now are the Pilots and the Bobcats, battling for it in the corner. It's controlled by Providence right now. Dakapot's got it. He walks the tightrope trying to keep it in play. Eventually goes out of play. Now it's in with the Bobcats. It's Bender. Bender's throw went off a Providence player. Rodriguez tests his arm strength. Now some footwork perhaps from Rodriguez. Now he'll have to throw it again one more time. Sam Wetstein wants it, and so do all the Bobcats. They want to get on the scoreboard here, trailing 2-0 right now. Bender, Wetstein, and it's kicked out of harm's way. Nice little flip kick there, and a race for it. And Blackwell was almost a step or two ahead there, and he would have been
gone
home free. And Chabati, Gluska's going to have to race out for it. A wide open cage one more time. Tangle up in there, and Chabati racing back in. He makes a good defensive stop there. On Gluska, he likes to burn the candle at both ends and in the middle, doesn't he? He's not afraid to get out there.
No, even though it causes panic for his teammates.
Yeah.
He'll still do it.
Yeah. He makes it exciting for us here on the call. Here's Benitez finding the edge, and he scores. Well, that's with precision accuracy. That is sure brilliance. What a beautiful goal by Giovanni Benitez. So nice we get to see it twice. Look at him walk the tightrope here, finding the edge, and man, his window of opportunity was getting ready to slam shut there, but good gravy, what a goal by Giovanni Benitez. Woo-wee, 3-0 for the Pilots.
And just went through Gluska's between his head and the post, and I think he thought it was going behind the net. And
That's just
really
kind
nice
of
goal.
a positional thing.
I would think, yeah. I mean,
Or
I'm no goalie, but
but just that's a pretty talented goal there.
Yeah, for sure. He saw a space and he just took it, and the wind might have helped a little bit, but regardless, really good goal by Providence.
Yeah, because from that angle, from where we're at, you kind of think that it's not possible to
it's
get
a goal
it in there.
It's a goal that you usually, like, it's not someone's like common goal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It happens every once in a while.
So Ajay and Dakapot there getting tangled up there.
Patmore take the kick for Providence.
He faked it the first time, launches it the second time. Partially deflected, but Chase Gluska is there to gobble it up. Header by the Pilots. Corbin Glufka has tapped it up to Diego Rodriguez. I already know for our next broadcast we need to get those little heat packs.
Yeah.
And maybe one of those
seat warmers.
Seat warmers and one of those nice heaters right here, and maybe we could broadcast all day. Oh, we live and we learn, I guess.
Yeah.
JC.
Well, we were super spoiled with futsal being inside, so
yes, this is.
We lucked out there.
So Corbin Glufka, he is a wily old veteran on this Bobcat team. There's Aluminum. There's Wetstein. Just cannot break free there. That Providence's defense is just.
They've been really
They don't
good.
allow much, do you?
Yeah.
Just those passing lanes are just few and far between. That one's thrown in off a couple of headers there. I guess 3 of them probably when it's all said and done. Shabatti just does the smart thing, kicks it out of play. So it's back into play here. Trying to find the open lane to kick through. Are the Pilots getting tangled up? Glufka. And we got a player down for Providence here.
Jason letting them keep playing as Providence is still holding the ball. And
Yes.
Providence will kick it out and we'll finally get to get an idea of what happened.
Let's just take a look at the replay here.
Oh, it was a shoulder to the chest. But in the scramble, you can't see who's around you, right? And you don't know, like, the situational awareness doesn't exist in the scramble.
See, that's
like
why
that.
I brought you on board to do these things, because you know more about these things than I do. See, situational awareness, those words aren't even in my vocabulary. You got a high soccer IQ there, young lady. I got to tell you that much. Yeah, Providence sitting pretty here right now. Women's team won earlier this afternoon, 5-0, and Pilots in the driver's seat here in this one. Shabatti, low kick off the back. Going to be a 2-on-1 break here, but Shabatti was there kind of racing back to break up that pass.
And Jubati fitting in well with the almost like a veteran defense for the Bobcats. Being his first year, you wouldn't be able to tell. He's fitting in very nicely with them.
Yeah, he's kind of made it seamless, hasn't he?
Yeah, especially with the loss of Adam Hay for their defense. Jubati's transitioned well.
Gluska's kick. Wetstein's racing for it. Patmore runs the offense here, scouts the situation, makes a long throw off the head of Bender. Wetstein puts it back to Zach Wood, and Buick's on his horse. Puts that one, could it be to Wetstein? No.
Wetstein's still staying on it,
Yeah,
getting it back.
Yeah, Wetstein's pretty tenacious down there.
Yeah, he doesn't put up with too much.
Yeah, you can never cut him out of those types of plays. Rodriguez trying to dangle his way and create an offensive chance, but could not. Still has it in his hands, though. Bender's kick finds Pilots instead. Bender raced back, and now trying to find the edge and walk the tightrope there, colliding with Chabati was Athwell.
Looks like Chabati will be getting a yellow card from Jason Rowley. Just from stopping the ball, or stopping the body, sorry, instead of the ball. They've had a couple warnings now. Yellow card is justified in my opinion.
Well, and just not to steer away from that call, but just seeing some of the replays and all, guys in the truck have done a good job today.
Oh, yeah.
Picking up some of those things so we can break down what's been going on a little bit more. So there's a kick. Oh, that went right off the square of the noggin of Chabati there.
Really good control by Romero.
Wetstein hustling, trying to keep it in play, and he will. But again, Albright was there just calling him off. He was there if need be. Oh, this is going to be Gluska picking up that one. So we go from one end to the other in the blink of an eye. Here's Chabati over to Bender. Bender getting it through the two defenders. Rodriguez trying to thread the needle, but cannot. And right back the other way come the Providence Pilots. If you're Brandon, you got to be. Are you thinking not about changing the game plan completely, but are you trying to take a few more chances now, or?
I would not. I'd be playing it safe if I was Brandon. We just saw another yellow card to, I believe it was Corbin Glufka. And I think our guys are just getting caught in unlucky situations, catching the body instead of the ball, and just play it safe. Go back to your basics, passing the ball to each other, pass and move, looking for that open space. A lot of the times they're tending to go on the side that we're on, this north side, and I think Travis definitely has a lot of space on the south side, and I think BU should start running up that side. Just to switch it up, throw Prov off maybe.
Well, here comes that kick. That one's... Whoa. I guess you can't see on the camera view, but I kind of thought that one was... I said there was a chance for one to hit 18th and Vic, and that one almost did. Gluska's got a... Yeah, there's two of them out there.
One from the first half, I believe.
Oh,
yeah.
Doubling his riches here. Yeah, you can tell that these two teams are they're competitors. There's no two ways about it. You've been seeing it here that over the last little bit that there's still that will to win, whether it's friendly or whether it's a league game,
Yeah, and the exciting thing about these two teams especially is that the next game won't be the same. Like, BU will turn it up and it'll be a completely different story.
Well, Dakapot, I tell you, he didn't play till the second half, but he's made an impact out there. Big body, athletic guy.
Yeah, definitely looking for his players, creating those passes.
So Zach Wood, long pass across the field to Rodriguez. Racing for it is Romero. He's in the far corner. Can he make something happen? Sliding at it. So Rodriguez will, maybe he can work a little bit of magic here and get Brandon on the board with that throw in. Went off Buick, and we're going to start it all over again. That went off the head of Josh Cameron. Here's Sam Wetstein trying to control it, cannot. Zach Wood trying to dance his way in there, got tangled up, and back the other way come the Pilots. But
good control by Jay.
Jay makes a good play there. Now over to Aluminum. Trying to dish it, cannot. And Pilots clear it. It's a header by Blackwell.
Chabadi to step up. To Wood.
Dakapot was there. Now it's over to Duick one more time. Gluska races out there.
Just approaching the 75th minute mark.
Off the head of Bender. Another chance here for the Pilots. It's Athwell again. That one square into the chest, and easy stop there for Chase Gluska. Chase launches that one. You can see that wind that held that one up. Got a whistle. Got a handball, I do believe. No, I guess they're... I don't know what happened there. Do you?
Well,
It just kind of started going.
Well, Prov was trying to do the quick kick, and the rest of their team wasn't ready. You can't get mad at the ref for your teammates not being
I didn't know
prepared. They're trying to get a reset on the kick. Now we have a Providence player down, but not.
Well, these guys are like human battering rams out there.
I have a feeling this one might be cramps. Just.
Well, how could you not get some of those too? You know, like it's just this is.
I've lost feeling below my leg, so like.
Have you?
I can't believe I can't.
Oh no. Yeah,
I imagine they have a couple cramps.
Well, JC, you're a warrior. You know, we're getting there, and
yeah, it looks like it is just a matter of cramping up. With this cold weather, it's kind of hard not to.
Well, these guys might need to buckle up, because if that Alberta Clipper comes,
they'll be playing in the snowstorm.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun to call? It'd be like the Ice Bowl with the Packers and the Cowboys. I've always wanted to call the Ice Bowl, and it'd be a chance to go back in time, maybe. I'm trying to find the edge there was Kirkpatrick.
And he'll get a call.
Long kick. Trying to spring him free is Athwell. Gluska races out there and gobbles that one up. Here's Bender.
To Wood. Wood looking for Wetstein.
Rodriguez almost had him. But again, just clogging up those passing lanes, almost like they see it coming before Brandon does. Dak Opat is there. Sends it back to his buddy Patmore. Patmore's kick to Dak Opat. Opat's kick.
Going
Partially deflected, but good hustle by Providence there to keep it in play.
Romero looking for his team.
Romero trying to spring Wetstein. No. Albright collects, throws it downfield. Good arm strength by Albright.
Rodriguez just holding Patmore off the ball.
And Dakopat walks the tightrope, keeps it in play. Good play indeed. Trying to find that open teammate, and Sam Duick, not quite. We got a whistle here. Stop and play. We got a substitution here on the Providence side. And preparing for a corner kick here are the visitors from Otterburn. Everybody's getting their position. Can he pick his spot perfectly? That's off Glufka. Rodriguez colliding. Brandon trying to dig their way out of this hole here, and hemmed in again one more time. And another tangle up. Athwell again.
Just
Athwell's
catching.
really been in the. He's really been kind of in all over the place there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Pilots will be able to replace this one with Josh Cameron, number 14. Sure, he's got some friends and family watching this one. Would love to get a goal off the hands of Gluska. And a good stop. Chase kicks that one way down the field. Pretty good kick into that wind, but it goes out of play. Approaching that 80th minute right now. Buick nods that one up and ahead. And Jeffrey Buick, number 9, was in there too. Jay will hand it off instead. It's MVP Buick. Here's Wetstein at midfield. Buick sends it deep into Providence territory. I spoke too soon. Deflection by Providence, and they can't get that much far across midfield. Tapped in, and Providence looks to break out on offense. Oh, magnificent! What a pretty goal. Austin Blackwell, that's using your noggin. Good gravy. What a nice goal by Blackwell.
Goal. Yeah.
You got to time that one absolutely perfectly, and that was pure brilliance by Austin Blackwell. So nice we get to see her twice. And the Pilots are rolling here, up 4-0 over the Bobcats.
Really nice setup by Sam Dueck to Blackwell to get that goal in. Just a nice, easy lob. Bobcats feeling the pressure now, down 4-0 with just under 10 to go.
The Pilots got 4 in there. That's not enough here. They keep pushing the pace here. The Jays got it. Bender finding Rodriguez. Rodriguez had the double back. He finds MVP. Buick's kick eludes Aluminum. Albright calls him off and picks it up. Albright's big time kick. That's a moonshot all the way to the other end. Gluska had it. Now Ajay has it. Here's 15 Calvert. He had it just for a moment. Aluminum. And it's a foot race right now. Can Romero, can he score? Can he break the goose egg?
Yes! Can. Really good goal by Thomas Romero to stay on that ball with 4 Pilots trailing him. But stayed calm and collected and put it just past Albright.
Yeah, warp speed there eludes the goalkeeper, and
little fist pump at the end.
Bobcats are on the board, 4-1. Off the head of Blackwell. So Brandon looking to keep this going here. They finally cracked the goose egg here. Here's Bender. Bender holds.
Back
works
to Chibati.
Yeah, works his way back to Chibati here. There's a J right at midfield, right smack dab at the middle of this field. Tries to make his move. Pilots see it coming.
Wetstein resetting back to Bender. Wide to Romero.
Yeah, Romero the goal scorer for Brandon. Just moments ago, here's Buick. Another player down.
Just some unlucky ankles getting caught.
Well, like I said, Providence has had basically every angle covered here. Brandon hasn't. I mean, that goal that Romero just scored, that was literally their best chance, you know?
Yeah.
Where they finally got a chance to get in there and score.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been pretty airtight.
Yeah, Albright hasn't had to move too much this game.
Well, he's just done a good job too of, if he kind of sensed any danger that he'd go there and just call everybody off and just kind of do it himself, kind of a thing. Here's the corner kick. It's a low one. Found Bender instead of a Pilot. Dakabot takes it off the chest. It's a low stinger by Duick. Chabatti racing for it. Chabatti finding the edge. Lost the handle on it. So Pilots throw it in there, back where it started from, but before we can get any further than that, we got a whistle on the play. So Bender holds and goes to Diego Rodriguez.
To Romero and back to Glufka.
Glufka's long kick, trying to win a foot race was Buick. That one sails into the Providence sideline area. Rodriguez takes that throw in. Works his way back out to Bender. Bender to a J.
Nice touch by a J to just bypass.
Makes a nice pass up to Wetstein. Wetstein trying to find Zach Wood. Romero in the mix there too. Wetstein doubling back. Kicking it way downfield again. Gluska's got to get on his horse, and he will. Gluska, bowling ball effect. Not going to work, and they score.
Goal scored by number 13, Athwell. Just a mistake on the clearance from Gluska. Rolled it right to him, and it was a nice little present for Athwell.
So it's now 5-1. And time winding down in this one, probably only
5 or so minutes?
Yeah. So Lumelum puts it back to a J. To Wood. To Corbin Glufka. Rodriguez trying to work some late game magic here. There's Romero. He's the Bobcat goal scorer. Wetstein taps it up. Romero back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez lets it fly long distance. Wetstein racing for it. No, Albright is there. Not much cooking offensively for the Bobcats in this one.
No, it seems like they get their passes and they do really well when they're passing, but as soon as they get their passes, they get excited and they tend to lose the ball.
That's why I'd be useless in soccer. I'll just call a spade here, and my nerves are fried. On a normal day, if I had a chance to score a goal, you might as well just put me on the bench, which is where I spent the majority, 95% of my athletic career. Here's Duick one more time. Pilots know they got this one basically locked up.
Oh, and I think we've...
Yeah, you see Travis Buick is down there. Yeah, you just want to, at this stage, you just want to avoid anything. There's still some games to play, and
yeah,
you don't want to risk anything at this point.
Even with it not being an official season, if you get, say, like a season-ending injury, you want to make your recovery as easy as possible, right? Like, you don't want to get a devastating injury even if there is no season, because come next season it'll just make your recovery more difficult.
Yeah, there's no sense hanging in there if you're feeling a little iffy about an injury of some kind, because it's
good to use a season like this to get your body to full potential.
There's Chabati ricocheting that one up and ahead for aluminum. Pilots kick it up. Assey with a chance. But just as he kicked it, there was a whistle. Bender Rodriguez. Rodriguez kicked to a J now. Finds Romero, the lone Bobcat goal scorer. That one hit the head of Jordan Calvert. There's Chabati. There's Glufka. Dakapot. Over to Sam Duick. And another player down here.
Ajay taken down by Providence pilot tackle. Slow to get up, but...
Well, we've got 90 minutes on our clock right now, so there can't be too much more here. Well, JC, thanks for making the trip in from Portage. It was good to have you on the games today. It was fun getting the chance to get out here and call some live sports again.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't realize how much you miss it until you don't get to do it anymore, I guess. So aluminum, Romero maybe looking to add one more strike here. That one's high over to the pride of Cartwright, Sam Wetstein. And the final whistle goes, and the Providence Pilots have come to the BU HLC Field and are leaving with a clean sweep. It was a 5-0 win on the women's side. And here in the men's contest, 5-1 victory for the Pilots over the host Bobcats. So yes, it was a fun opportunity to escape reality for a little bit. We battled through the elements, got through the 2 games. Big thanks to WCGTV, our longtime provider of Bobcat telecast, for putting the show on today. Hope you enjoyed it from the comfort of your home. And our next broadcast, we are expected to be back at it next Sunday as well for more exhibition soccer action from HLC Field. So from JC Castle and myself, Tyler Crace, and everybody in the truck, thanks a lot for tuning in, and we really look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.